Democrat-led cities continue to feel the impact of America's crime crisis. We begin right here in New York City, where scary scenes like this seem to be playing out more and more. Check this out. A Bronx man is in critical condition after being sucker punched. The suspect? Well, he's a convicted sex offender who has since been released from jail. Imagine that. Without bail after his initial attempted murder charges were downgraded to a misdemeanor. Amazing. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, shocking footage shows a flash mob of looters ransacking a Los Angeles 7-Eleven. The brazen thieves stealing snacks, drinks, cigarettes, and even lottery tickets. No one involved has been arrested so far. And now communities across the country are feeling the financial toll. A study revealing that San Francisco, Cleveland, Portland, Chicago, and Detroit, what do they have in common? They're all Democrat cities. Well, they are the most deserted downtowns in the U.S. as soaring crime rates in these cities scare away residents, workers, and tourists. A new Wall Street Journal op-ed warning the left that crime will be top of mind during the fall's midterm election, and that cashless bail, defund the police, and unsafe streets all add up to the danger at the polls for Democrats. The footage in New York City is amazing. You see this man leave a restaurant. You watch him hit someone on the back of the head repeatedly. The NYPD says, this is attempted murder, but not to the Bronx DA. This is just a misdemeanor, despite this guy being out previously at a rape charge. He went to jail for about 6 years. He's back out on the streets to find his next victim. This is just amazing lawlessness.
Yeah, I'm not a detective, but I look at that and I don't see how that's a misdemeanor. I mean, smashing this guy's skull, there was a brain bleed involved. He has this prior record of, he's a sex offender. It's not like he has a prior record of petty theft or these small crimes, which is where this has gone so completely wrong. And obviously, law and order people are going to be upset about this. New Yorkers are going to be upset about this. But people who care about criminal justice reform should also be upset about this, because allowing the most violent, vile criminals back out and calling skull smashing a misdemeanor, that's going to make the pendulum eventually swing way in the other direction. I don't know anybody who would say that that's a misdemeanor and that a guy like that should be back out on the streets. Nobody.
Right. And Jose Alba, we sent him to Rikers, the guy who defended himself when he was being attacked.
Yeah.
Tommy, this op-ed really interesting about crime being a midterm issue. It's not written by a Republican. It's written by Doug Schoen, a well-known Democrat, and he highlights a Gallup poll that shows this: 80% of Americans worry about crime, 53% a great deal. That's an extraordinary number, 80%.
Because when you're seeing these things happen in the streets, they're not just happening to people that are rival gang members, all involved in some kind of a criminal enterprise. You're talking about innocent people who are being attacked in New York City, innocent people in LA who are being attacked by homeless people who are tripping out on drugs. I mean, this is an everyday occurrence, and you don't know when you're going to be the next one, because it doesn't matter what area you're in. It doesn't matter what you look like, your skin color, your gender identity, your pronoun usage. It doesn't matter, because you could be the next victim. And Democrats have to recognize that as well, because as much as they like to preach and their virtue signals, if you're walking down the street and you're going to get hit in the back of the head, you really don't care about the pronouns or the woke, or you care about safety. Americans care about safety. But what I can't figure out here is the motivation behind all of this. Why are Democrat politicians and DAs, why are they okay with this? It doesn't look good politically. It doesn't do well for their constituents. So why continue these policies? What is the motivation other than just, we like thugs and felons and we want them to be protected? Because when it comes down to it, that's really the only explanation I can think of.
It is the only explanation. And Ben, when we talk about this from a political viewpoint, I look at it as a tripod. I think on one leg, you've got a big leg, the economy. Education is a huge underlying issue. And the third one that is not often talked about in a political context is crime. We see voters care about it. We know the president didn't talk about it until 7 months into his presidency, has done nothing meaningful. But you know who else sees this as an issue? The NRCC. They have taken out a $52.3 million ad buy on the issue of crime. And interestingly, those border districts that have swung red, your neighbors, your friends, you're in Texas, they're putting crime ad buys on border districts. Very smart play.
It's the #1 issue. If you don't feel safe, that is all that matters to you. And education and your children are usually second in this country, right? It's education, safety. But when you look at houses, when you buy a house, what do you look at? You look at the crime stats. It's location, 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 which is safety, safety, safety. And this all started, you mentioned, what is the game plan here? This was all part of George Soros's plan, part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Number one, we defund the police and say they're the bad guys. And then we drive the police insane by undermining every arrest they make. And you do that through activist DAs. And these activist DAs are running for office. They have unlimited funds coming in, and they say, we're going to do things politically. I'll give you an example. The guy who just won DA in Memphis, Tennessee, one of the most dangerous cities in America, my hometown, ran and said he wanted to proportionately put people in jail based on race. So if 7 people come in that are white, his theory is, well, you don't put them in unless I have 7 people that are Hispanic, 7 people that are African-American. So we're only going to charge people and put them in crime based on the racial makeup of the day. So I guess if you come in and you're at the wrong, or I guess in this situation, the right race, you can walk free because they say, oh, we can't lock you up today. We have too many people that look like you. And this is part of that radical agenda from Soros. And they're going to destroy these cities and people are going to die. You look at that video you mentioned a minute ago. I don't even care about his past record. This is an individual that clearly tried to kill somebody. He's out on the streets right now, and that is because of one person, Joe Biden and the Democratic Party.
That's right, and there are consequences. Cheryl, right here in New York City, there's a special election Tuesday, so not a primary, an actual election for a congressional seat in New York's 19th district. This district has a Democrat who stepped aside to become lieutenant governor. His Republican opponent, Molinaro, is now ahead by 10 points. So Democrat retires. This looks like it could be a flip on Tuesday. But what's interesting is I want you to watch the ad they are playing and what issue is taking the forefront here in New York City in this district.
Across the country, they called cops racist, advocated looting and violence. So in the special election August 23rd, send a message to Joe Biden. Stop criminals and their coddlers.
Well, let's talk about the crime rates here in New York City. We've talked about this. In July, you have murders of 34%. You have grand larceny in this city of 40%. Robberies up 37%. You know, you mentioned not just what's happening here in New York, but the vacant downtowns that are now San Francisco and Portland. Seattle, by the way, you mentioned DAs. They actually just elected, and it was actually the November election, actually a Republican in Seattle. What does that tell you? So I think the election you're talking about in the 19th here in New York City is going to be very interesting because New Yorkers are fed up. And what we've seen in particular in this city, and several of us on the couch live here, is that it's the black and brown communities that have suffered the most. They're the ones that are screaming and saying, do not defund the police. Refund the police. That's why Eric Adams actually became mayor, because he said enough on crime. He has to deliver. The other thing I will say really quick here is that we've got this Jerry Nadler, Carolyn Maloney race happening here in New York City. And that's going to be interesting. You're pitting 2 people up against it. But Jerry Nadler, in the last few days, they had a debate. He before had said he wanted to defund the police. He won't say that now because he's up for election in that district. So he's completely backed off the defund thing because they know this is going to show them the door. And I think November is going to be a big moment for Republicans.
A wake up.
It's going to be a big wake up. Excuse me. It's going to be a big wake up for the Dems. I think you're going to see a red wave based on crime in all of these cities.
Really good point about him dropping the defund rhetoric. And you also know Myra Flores winning Texas 34, the Republican flip right there on the border.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.